Hello and good morning. You're watching Market Cafe on ET Now with me, Snehisha, and with me is Vinny Motiwala. Vinny, wishing you a very good morning. Monday morning, so well, we
good
can't
morning
say
and
it's
a
good morning.
Happy morning at least we are hoping for, right, from the markets
well,
as
we
well.
can hope for it, and this is a show where we're going to take you through all the important stories that were taking place globally over the course of the weekend and last night while we were fast asleep. And in the second half of the show, we'll delve into more domestic data and take a look at the stocks that could be potential buzzers in today's trading session, as well as what brokerages are flagging off for us bright and early this morning. So with that, Vinny, let's kickstart the show and take us through what the US handover looks like. And while Friday moves rather bleak coming in from the US, Nasdaq 1% down. So take us what's happening.
Some bleak moves like you mentioned, right? What we saw coming in from the US markets as well. As of now, yes, Nasdaq actually closed Friday's trading session down almost 1%. We did see S&P 500 and Dow Jones also close down 0.5% as well. And S&P 500, this is the second week of losing streak that we saw for S&P 500 as well. So yes, markets have been quite subdued. Nothing in terms of an excitement that has come in this week in the US market. What we'll be watching out for is going to be the Fed's meeting as well. Everyone's keeping an eye out on that one in terms of, getting a direction in terms from the Fed also will give a direction to the markets as well. Where that is headed is surely a key to watch out for, especially for big traders is what everyone is watching out for. When you look at the US stock futures Sunday evening, so yesterday evening, what we saw was a bit of a little change that we saw even in terms of the futures, US futures that we saw. Nothing exciting there as well. And obviously what we're keeping an eye out on is Nvidia Corp's new developer conference also. That is something that one should keep an eye out on as well. But overall, what we saw from the US markets, the handover was not anything exciting that came in terms of the US market handover. Now, European markets, obviously, they do close before the US markets as well. But European markets also was quite a bit of a subduedness that we saw. European markets actually closed lower on the concerns of that inflation jitters that are going around as well. So yes, keeping an eye out on that. So whether you look at DAX, FTSE, all of them closed almost muted. CSE managed to close on the green side, slight bit of a positive, very, very mild positive that we saw coming in there. But yes, that's how the handover came in from the global markets. Nothing exciting. As of now, the Nifty implied is indicating a decline. That's the futures. It's indicating a decline of 0.3%, while GIFT Nifty is indicating slight bit of a muted start for the Indian markets as well. See, that's what you're keeping an eye out on. We surely have to pick out a side because every time that the markets open, maybe they were open in the green and they again end in the red. And, that volatility or that subduedness has been continuing. So that's something that is key to watch out for even for our markets now.
Absolutely, early in the morning, market opens, people are optimistic about where the market
you just
is
hope
going.
for it.
And in the middle of the day, the market is down out of nowhere. So, well, we can
the
hope
second half of the day is sluggish for the markets as well.
And on an everyday basis, this has been happening. So,
yeah.
Well, we can hope for at least one steady and volatility-free session today. But with that, let's also talk about what's happening in the world of oil and crude. And crude oil futures fell slightly on Friday, but gained for the week after rising in the two previous sessions. Now, the WTI contract for April fell by 22 cents to settle at $81 per barrel. Brent contract for May lost 8 cents to settle at almost $85.4 a barrel. The US crude and the global benchmark were up more than 3.5% week to date. OPEC and the International Energy Agency are now both expecting a tight crude market this year as well. Now, the IEA has revised its outlook for 2024, projecting a slight supply deficit rather than a surplus. So that's a surprising news that came in over the course of the weekend. And the Paris-based agency's forecast is now more in line with OPEC's projections. Remember earlier there was quite some deviation between OPEC and IEA's projections, with IEA's projections surpassing OPEC's by quite a lot. And attacks by Ukraine this week on Russian oil refineries also emphasize the risk that war in Eastern Europe poses to crude production and fuel supplies. So, well, we'll take a look at what's happening on the macroeconomic front, the geopolitical front, and then obviously all of those will have their implications on oil as well. But well, yes, and that's what's happening in the world of oil and crude, Vinny. But take us